Hi, my name is Marty Yeager with SB Search Marketing, and I've been doing some Google AdWords, and I tend to think of myself as a Google AdWords guru, but I'm also a macro geek. I love doing Excel macros, and I've developed some pretty cool macros to help my world out, and I figured why not share them with you guys, and maybe you guys will find some need to work with me later on some other projects. So let me walk you through how this tool works. Okay, so basically, let's start off with, let me make a mistake here real quick. Okay, so I have a list of keywords, and like a keyword multiplier tool is nothing new. I mean, there's some websites that do it, but I wanted to go a couple steps further because I know I have a lot of data needs, and if I have a quick way to push a couple buttons, I really get my work done really fast. So one of the first things I did is I put in a spell check. Why? Because I know if I've misspelled something fairly important and I'm using it now in 20,000 different keywords, that one keyword, that one mistake will cost me big time, especially if I don't notice it. So the first thing that I always do when I list of keywords is I do a spell check, and right away we notice that orange is misspelled. So we're going to change that. Okay, so now it basically went through columns B and C, and it found the spelling errors there. Okay, one of the cool things about this tool is how many times we sat there trying to lowercase some words, uppercase some words. So here we have cap. There's three different capitalization formats. There's the first letter, all letters, and lowercase. So we're going to take it's basically going to do the first column. So we're going to capitalize, and actually that first button does two columns, but the other one's only one column. Sometimes the macros run a little long. You could always press escape and then press end. Okay, so that just did the first letter. Now we want to cap. Alright, and now we want to lower. Alright, end. Okay. So now you see the functionality of it. Well, yeah, okay, well that column didn't do it over there, so we just move it over. And then bring it over here. So you're all set. Okay, so now our keywords are set to the capitalization that we actually want. This button's pretty self-explanatory. We're not going to clear our keywords, but that's basically what it does. And then you have multiply merge. This is a utility that is nothing new. A lot of different places, there's websites and so forth. So, we're just going to press that. Basically, does white shoe times white shoes times white shirt. And here's the data that you're going to get off to the side. Nothing really new, but I added some extra columns. Okay, what if you don't want a space? A lot of those other tools don't give you that option. Okay, so here we don't have a space. You also, what if you wanted a hyphen? What if you were looking for something special like .com or .net? You're you're looking for a website URL. You're doing this. You're doing that. So there's different utilities to have .com, .net. So here's some stuff over here that's pretty neat. Okay, so there's your multiply merge. Once again, nothing new except for the additional columns. One of the things I've always needed, and a lot of what I do is keywords are special to each other. So here I have one-for-one merge. Okay, so say you have your white and your shoe go together, but white and shoes and white and shirts don't go together. Okay, so they're specific line for line. So what we want to do is do a one-for-one merge. White shoe, yellow shoes, pink shirt, orange shirts, orange shirts. And then it did a comma over here, and then the no space. Why is this important? Really, honestly, I use it all the time because sometimes there's stuff that I just don't want to multiply. I need specifically column A to match up with column B on a line per line basis. Okay. Now here's another cool term. Let's go to multiply merge. We're gonna create a list right here. Okay, so this button right here is going to take this column E, and it's going to create. Basically, it's going to take this word, comma, this word, comma, this word, comma, this word. Okay. Where did that help you? Well, what if you're taking lists of keywords out of AdWords, your most hit keywords, and then you're going to use it in your SEO work? It's a great tool. I mean, honestly, you could take, instead of having to go line by line and write these things out, you could just take a list of them, drop them in there, and then push the button, and it creates this list for you. You copy and paste it, you drop it in somewhere else. Okay, so that's it. So this is most of the keyword stuff. We have another keyword tool over here, and this is more of an AdWords editor keyword tool. Go over here. We have a group of keywords already. We need to clear the data because we don't need that. So we're going to go over here to AdWords editor, and now we have a bunch of keywords. Okay. The problem is, and actually I take that back, because my previous example, I ran through this right before and it did not record correctly, so I'm doing this for the second time. So please bear with me. Okay, so now let's say we have a list of keywords and they're all bucketed out in different keyword groups, or word groups. Okay. So we have all our address, and each one has different sets of broad terms. Okay, but we want to add the exact and the phrase into each of those. Well, really what we have to do is, let's say this getaway ad group. We're gonna, oops. Okay, so this getaway ad group. In order to take them all and then do all these changes, we're gonna have to do one by one. Copy, change it, phrase, copy, change it to exact, do the same thing with the next group. This one's getaways. Okay, so you can see with so many different ad groups, it's going to be a lot of different work, just way too much work. Okay, the solution is we take all 550 keywords, copy, drop in here. Okay, now this is an important step, because if you don't do the step, you will start bidding on a term called keyword. We don't want to do that. So we need to delete top row and run the BEP. BEP stands for broad exact phrase. Okay, do we want to include broad match? Well, it's already in there. So in this case, we're going to say no. Alright, and what it has done is it's created each keyword twice in exact and in phrase. Okay, so we're going to keep going down here. Shift, copy. Alright, I'm going to go over here. Okay, this is an important box to click. Up at the very top. Now what it's doing is going through and it's dropping those keywords in. The 36 ignored keywords were the getaway and the getaway that we did by hand. And the 1064 are the ones that it did for us. If you notice, the time that it took to do this and to do the 1064 was pretty much the same. So you see how much time it actually saves you. Okay, so we're gonna press finish. It's actually gonna drop those keywords in, and now every campaign has its exact phrase, detox, exact phrase. If we go this way, detox retreat, broad phrase exact, broad phrase exact, broad phrase exact. Okay, did exactly what we want it to do. All right. So let's go back to our keyword tool. So that concludes keywords. Now there's one last cool tool that I put in here, and this is the keyword insertion. Alright, I use keyword insertion sparingly. I don't like it all that much, but at times I have experimented with it. Okay, so with that said, I wanted a cool tool to do this, to experiment easily. And so let's say I have 100 ads, 200 ads, 300 ads, and I want to, on each of those ads, I want to try the keyword insertion tool. But the challenge is, I don't want to mess up the headline. I want to keep the current headline, and I have 300 different variations of headlines. Well, it's not easy to do that until I wrote this tool. So we're going to go over here and we're going to grab some ads. That was a bad example, once again, because I had them in there. Let me just delete these. Okay, so this is a bad example because it's the same ad over and over again. But let's say you had 15 different versions of ads, and you want to just use a keyword insertion tool across all of them. You couldn't just do a mass edit, because you would be editing all of them to be homogeneous, exactly the same. We want that. So basically we're going to copy, and we're going to take them over here, we're going to drop them in. Once again, we're going to delete the top row, we're going to run the keyword insertion, and here it took the headline, wrapped it in the keyword insertion tool, and then left us the ads. So now we're going to go over here, we're going to copy the ads, go to this group, next. Alright, and dropped it in. Now each of our groups up here is going to have two ads to run against each other. One regular and one keyword insertion. Really helps us out to really do some nice little testing and so forth. And that pretty much concludes what we do. If you have any questions or you need some help with your AdWords programs, feel free to give us a call. Our phone number is 800-481-3795. Once again, it's 800-481-3795. And we are sbsearchmarketing.com. Thanks a lot. Bye.